Hello, this is Lee Anthony Davis on Tuesday, the 5th of September, in the early hours of the morning, just after half one. I don't seem to be keeping my promises at the time of. So I've just eaten something. At the time of what I've been saying I was going to do it at. It's because I've been on the paging group and doing other things on Instagram and Twitter and stuff like that. It's been hard to get the time to come on here and do this video, but find the time I have. Alright, so I'm doing it now. Right, so this is the video for the announcements on the YouTube channel. Warm welcome if you're joining me. Right, this is where I announce group of the day, contributor of the day, sorry, birthday announcements, Doctor Who news, and there's a bombshell here. I'm going to let you have it. And of course, there's my updates on my page and group. And of course, at the end of it, you guessed it, I'll be showing the Doctor Who merchandise from my collection. And yes, it's some more Daleks. Right, let's get on with it then. Group of the day for Monday the 4th of September goes to the Doctor Who family. Well done to them. They're on Facebook, good group, plenty of posting, plenty of members, and they all seem to be at one, you know, no arguing, no nothing. That's the kind of group I would recommend. So Doctor Who family gets group of the day for Monday, Monday the 4th of September. Right, moving on to contributor of the day for Monday the 4th of September, and that goes to Richard Binns. Richard Binns, congratulations to you, sir, well done. Right, moving on, it's birthday announcements. These people celebrating their birthdays on Facebook today or on Twitter, wherever. I mean, they could be everywhere, couldn't they? But you might know them, so I'll give them a shout out. There's let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, there's about 6 altogether. Here we go. Celebrating their birthdays today on Tuesday the 5th of September are Andrew Gray, Arthur Ferreira, Leela Rose Ruiz, Carlos Sandez, Richard Blinn and Martin Jackson. Well done to them lot. They're celebrating their birthdays today. Wish them well, and well, wish them a happy birthday because it's their special day. Right, moving on. Now, I said there's a Doctor Who bombshell to be dropped, and I'm the one to drop it. But you probably know that already. You know, I'm probably last with the news. But I wouldn't tell you this unless I'm sure of my facts. So I'm going to tell you. Right, let's start off with the most important thing. Well, no, it isn't. It isn't the most important thing. But anyway, it is important if you're a Doctor Who fan. Right, Yasmin Finney, who plays Rose, has been confirmed as Donna Noble's daughter. She is Rose Noble, and she was the child from the. Remember the end of time. We had Donna with some guy called what was his Sean Temple. Remember him? He had a bit of fuzzy. He was a dark-skinned gentleman with fuzzy hair. He looked like one of the stylistics. Anyway, but anyway, he was played by Carl Collins, and apparently she's the character from their marriage, or shall I say their love child or whatever. I don't know if he's gonna be brought back into it, but you know, Russell T Davies might find a place for him, showing them as a married couple. But as we know, she is Donald. I keep saying Donald, like it's Irish. Donna Noble daughter. Donna Noble's daughter is Rose Noble, as you know, played by Yasmin Finney. I'm a bit slow on the uptake today, I'm sorry. But anyway, I was always asking myself, how does she fit into this? Because Millie Gibson has already been confirmed as Ncuti Gatwa's assistant in the TARDIS. But apparently she will probably, Russell T Davies has penned her in for Series 14 as well. So she might be travelling. And that's probably why there's no rumours to it now, because I think it's been confirmed that she will travel for a few episodes. But she will definitely be in the first 3 episodes of the 60th anniversary specials. Right, so that's how she will appear, and that's how she will be brought into the show. But she'll be well, you probably knew that already, but I thought I'd mention it. Right, so that isn't the big news. The big news, as far as I know, well, I'll just tell you this first. Two actors, one actress, sorry, one actor. Ruth Madley will play Shirley Ann Bingham, but I'm not too sure on what the form will be. I don't know if she'll be a villainess or she'll be just a character. It's there to be killed, or she's just got a small cameo role. I'll fill you in the details on that in the future videos that I'll be making on the announcement. And also, a guy called Neil Patrick Harris has been cast as the villain, so I presume that's the first special. Right, so I'll fill you in on the details as I said with the other stuff, and as I go along. If I've got more information, I'll let you know. Right, I'm going to, and now you're going to love this. Russell T Davies has taken it upon himself, like Stephen Moffat with the Daleks, to make them multicolored. But this time, guess what? He's going pink. He's going to make the TARDIS with a Barbie makeover. And I always say, leave things alone. You know, this is Russell T Davies's dream, in it, to sort of put his personality in it. Remember what happened to JNT when he started to do that with Doctor Who, when he took over? It completely ruined it because he put his personality into Colin Baker's. You think that costume, that multicoloured costume, was just but a coincidence? Was it buggery? It was Russell T Davies's stuff. He likes to wear bloody Hawaiian shirts, for God's sake. And Colin Baker didn't want to wear it. I mean, but Colin Baker was so grateful to get the role, he just didn't stand up strong enough to JNT, John Nathan Turner, to say, bugger off, I'm not wearing that. That will ruin my chances of everyone accepting me as a doctor. And not only that, there was other things. But the thing is, don't tinker around if it's not broken. I mean, the TARDIS is all right. I like to see the TARDIS as the TARDIS, not sort of done in multicolour, because this is a bloody political message, isn't it? It's aimed at a certain group. That's what they want to see. Well, what about the audience? The audience pay the bloody bill for this. You know, it's the taxpayer, well, shall I say, the licensed television payer, like myself and many others, are paying for this, you know? And I'm sure if the BBC get enough complaints, he might have to change. He might U-turn. But as far as I know, he's making the TARDIS pink. And I don't think it's a good idea. Anyway, you probably give me your comments, or you probably got your opinions on that one. But I don't like it, right? I do not like it. It's not, I was mentioning a couple of videos about Nashooty Gatwa. I know he's gay, so what? It doesn't make him a bad actor. But what they're doing is they're projecting that, and also being the first collared doctor, which is not good. He's doing it for the wrong bloody reasons. You can get a black actor who's brilliant. There's fucking hundreds of them. You could have picked any of them, but you went for him. Why? You know, because he did some program, Sex Education. What about the other talented guys that are out there? You see, this is what I'm saying. I think it was basically a stereotype, this decision. And I think he's cowering, like Stephen Moffat did as well, to his certain class of area. And it didn't work, did it? It projected it badly. That's why we didn't get the sort of stories that Peter Capaldi should have got. You know, he was actually having to go through some of these stories that were bloody pointless, you know. Some of them were good, some of them were bloody bad, including that misogynist William Hartnell portrayal. That was, in my opinion, that was diabolical. He shouldn't have done that. He should never have done that to William Hartnell's character, whatever happens. The Doctor was William Hartnell, as I know him, as an actor. I've seen his stuff. He wouldn't play anything like that. He wouldn't talk about women like that. He was straight in your face. He was honest. He didn't muck about. He got on with it. He's a real professional. But he wouldn't have played it like that. I never recalled William Hartnell saying that about women as the Doctor. He would never say, "Oh, Colin, make me a cup of tea" and all that rubbish. Leave it out. He was a straight actor. He wouldn't. I mean, I don't think he would have. If you just imagine it, Russell T Davies asked William Hartnell, he would have said no. because he wouldn't have gone for it. He says, "I'm an actor. I'm not having political messages." It's like Tom Baker. Remember Tom Baker? Yeah, you know, one of the best doctors ever to play the part. Without him, I don't think the show would have survived, because he was the one that took it to the golden era of Doctor Who in the 70s. Anyway, towards the end of his tenure as Doctor Who, unfortunately, John Nathan Turner, who I class as Russell T Davies Mark II, because he has the same similarities, wanted Tom to put silly question marks on his bloody, putting little things there bit by bit, and Tom Baker went up the wall. He exploded. And I can guarantee you there were fireworks. And then John Nathan Turner did not have the power to get rid of Tom Baker. Tom Baker had the power to get rid of himself. And in the end, to save the program, it was only because he wanted to save the program. He didn't, because he loved the program, and he knew that this guy, John Nathan Turner, was going to ruin it. And he was right, because 9 years down the line, that bloody show was cancelled, wasn't it? Because it had lackluster writers, lackluster story, too much projection of Mr. Turner. He even wanted to resign, after the failure of Colin Baker, trying to get his projection into Colin Baker. He was going to offer to resign, but Jonathan Powell, head of BBC, said no. He says, because he promised JNT that he'll give him a job as a director in his new schedule, but he never did. The reason why is because he wanted to punish him, because he was biting off the hand that fed him. He gave him the bloody job in the first place. Well, he didn't give him the job in the first place, but he gave him the freedom to run the show. He shouldn't, and then he decided enough's enough. It's not working. But JNT wanted to move on, and he wouldn't let him do, because no director or producer with the worth of their weight in gold would have took that show on in its current state. So JNT was lumbered with it till it died, and he died with it. He went down with the classic sinking ship, and so he deserved it, because he should never have touched some of the stuff that doesn't need to be tinkered with. I would have preferred another Tom Baker kind of character taken over after Peter Davison, but I don't know. Colin Baker's a good actor, but in my opinion, I don't think he was a leading man. I mean, that's my opinion, but I think he was he's on stage, he's got a great presence and stuff, but unfortunately for Doctor Who, he didn't have that, what Tom Baker had, what Patrick Troughton had, and what William Hartnell had, what John Pertwee had. Peter Davison didn't have it, but he had something special. He was a professional actor, but he had something, and you could see it in his final season. The reason why Davison wanted to leave, because obviously the friction with JNT, because after the second series he had enough. He thought it was going nowhere, and he felt that it wasn't about him anymore. It was about John Nathan Turner, and he didn't want that, because it meant that he was being undermined as an actor, and as the guy that was trying to make Doctor Who known to people. He didn't want any more. He could see where it was going. That's why he got out, and I don't blame him. I think Janet Fielding did the same thing, because remember, she was cast as Tegan Jovanka only because John Nathan Turner got the idea that if you had an Australian accent, Australian person, actress in it, it would bring in the Australian viewers. And also he did that again with Nicola Bryant, who was not American, but she put on an American accent, which was really cheesy, and he thought by doing that he'll bring in American audiences. It didn't work, and I think the way he got rid of her was diabolical. Had her married to some King Carnos or something, played by Brian Blessed. Who would marry him? Come on, Brian Blessed. She would never do. No, I would have preferred Nicola Bryant going out the way she did. When she stood up with a bald head, and she wasn't Nicola Bryant, she wasn't Perry anymore. She was this creature who was inside her. And I felt that was a bloody good way to go. No, he had to go and interfere and bloody and tell the writers to give her a happy ending. Rubbish. That simplified Doctor Who towards the end of its time. Anyway, that's history. I'm rambling on a bit. What I'm saying now is this Nashuti Gatwa, to me, looks like it's going to go the same way. This is really Russell T Davies' final chance. Remember, I always say never go back. Right, because there's a danger that you might. It's like John Cleese, right? He makes 40 Towers, 2 series, and he says no more. He knows when to stop, and he does it perfectly. They want more, they want more, they want more. And he says, no more. And then he leaves them wanting more. That is how you run a situation like that. But unfortunately, Russell T Davies has come back, and my greatest fear is that, remember the first series, he daren't do it. He daren't put all that referencing in. He did it a few times, but he was only allowed to get away with it a few times because Christopher Eccleston didn't want to go that way. He wanted the Doctor to play it straight, with emotion, power. He wanted the audience to really see that this show was back, and it was. But unfortunately, Eccleston didn't like the direction the show was going in, and he had a row with probably Russell T Davies and the BBC, and he said off. And that's what he did. And unfortunately, the BBC tried to blacklist him, so he couldn't get any parts. So he went to America. So he said, fuck you, I'm going to America. His agent advised him to do that as well. But anyway, unfortunately, that's the way. It's all about politics, and I don't like the way politics has been put into this. This is a show, an entertainment, and if it's not up to scratch, unfortunately, we might have another hiatus. But don't quote me on that. Anyway, moving on. I mean, like I said, the pink TARDIS is like the final nail in the coffin. You cannot do that. It's pink represents a certain faction of people. Why is he doing it like that? Well, it's because the BBC want to sort of turn your heads away from the troubles they've been having in the last 5 years. We all know what that is. So they've been making the first woman Doctor, Jodie Whittaker. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. But the storylines for her were terrible. Anyway, never mind. So, you know, that's my opinion. So anyway, they're making it into a bloody pink TARDIS. So I don't think I'll go and buy the merchandise for that one. Anyway, I'll give you more news when it comes to me as soon as possible. In any announcements, I'll give you some facts, not make it up as I go along. I will add my opinion to what I think, or why, should, or when, or what it should tell. But I won't sort of do it just to sort of make myself relevant. There's no point in that, because you could get, I mean, people see through that right away. So I don't want to do that. But what I want to do is just give you the facts. But in my opinion, it's a bad idea doing that, because it looks like we know what direction it's going to go in, you know. Right, okay then, moving away from that. Right, updates now. This is where I give you my page update and my group update. That's the Lee Anthony Davis page. And I can tell you it's now reached 3-0, the big 3-0 on the page, the Lee Anthony Davis, the Doctor Who page. And now I've got 30 members on my Facebook group. It might not seem a lot, but it's a hell of a lot to me, I can assure you. I've got the big 3-0 on the group. So I've got 30 on my Lee Anthony Davis, the Doctor Who page, and 30 on my Lee Anthony Davis, the Doctor Who group. So you're quite welcome to join. There's lots of material on there. Haven't done videos yet, but I will do, so I'll keep you posted. Right, there'll be another update, and there'll be another birthday announcement, there'll be another group and contributor, and more Doctor Who's news tomorrow. Right, moving on. This is the moment you've been waiting for. The Doctor Who merchandise. Here we go. There we are. This one's another Dalek. It might look familiar to you from ones I've shown you already, but this one's not familiar because it is actually Dalek from the Dalek invasion of 1964 in the William Hartnell adventure. There you go. I'm going to go through quickly because I'm running late. There you go. That's the one in the Dalek invasion. It was just the ordinary Dalek, but that's the colour it was, and that was the model it was, right? But that's a model of it, by the way, not the one. I know, you know that already. Right, here's another one. This one is, let's see. This is, oh, I'm trying to read it. I can't read the bloody thing. Oh, yeah. This is, oh, yes. I do know this one. This one's, remember from Dalek Master Plan? There's a lot of episodes missing from that. But this one is the flamethrower Dalek. There you go. The original, not the original, obviously, but this is the model from the original. It's a flamethrower. You see his plunger is not there. That's where the fire comes out. And remember the BBC's silly attempts of trying to burn trees down, and it was obvious it was all on the stage and it was all rubber or paper. Then they obviously had the fire brigade in there round the corner, so just to make sure the fire and safety standard. I don't know, but I know that they did a lot on Lime Grove Studio D, and every time the heat was raised, the bloody sprinklers went and they couldn't film. They had to get out of the bloody studio. That's true, that. But it's these days, Lime Street doesn't exist anymore. But that was when the old days, when Doctor Who at his beginnings were made at Lime Street studio, and all the actors dreaded it. I'm telling you, they dreaded it, including the producers. But that's the only place they could make it until they got a better studio, obviously. Anyway, that is it. Just to remind you, I'm going to be putting a Sarah Jane Adventures trailer up very shortly. So if you want to stay on this channel, you'll see the trailer going up in the next 5 to 10 minutes. So anyway, thank you for watching. I've made a long hell of a video here. I didn't anticipate it to be this long, but sadly I rambled on a bit about the Doctor Who news I was telling you. Okay, now I'm sorry about that. But anyway, thanks for watching. I'll be back tomorrow. I promise I'll try and make it for midnight, or just after midnight tomorrow. But anyway, don't forget me group and page on Facebook. Don't forget me on Instagram as well, and of course on Twitter. So nice to meet you. Have a nice night, and I'll see you soon. Bye until tomorrow. Good night.